Hey everybody, hope you are having a wonderful day. I wanted to start to create some videos for you as we go through this journey so that you can get to know me a little bit better as your leader, and I can kind of point to you to some of my aha moments and share some of my story in hopes that it will inspire and motivate you. So hopefully you have all read the first 3 chapters of the book, and I am a huge note taker. So if you can see here, I have tons of notes. I like to highlight, write in my books, take notes, because I will go back through them. But just some of the things that I jotted down from the first 3 chapters is, thinking about this area of cravings and food and really understanding that it's a battle in 3 areas of your life, and that's a physical, spiritual, mental. And it starts with spiritual because as we're learning that our cravings, we were created to have this craving, and it's actually we're feeding it with the wrong things, right? A lot of times we feed it with food. We can feed it with addiction, but really what we're craving is God's love and a relationship with God. So it's literally changing the way we view ourselves spiritually and mentally. So it's about having and being empowered by God, and that is the word of these 3 chapters, is that empowerment. And it's truly amazing what happens when you channel and fill your life with the right things, where that empowerment comes from. And you guys will see that as you go through your journey and you start to do some hard things and you start to make changes, you are going to feel empowered. And it's an exciting feeling, and it can continue to grow and compound. The other area that we look at is physical. And I loved how in the book she said that her physical state was the direct reflection of her choices and her state of health. So I think that it is so important for us to take ownership to where we are today is because of the choices that we have made prior to getting here today. And that can be really huge for you. And so I want you to kind of reflect on that and take some time and think about that. But here's the good news. The good news is that your past circumstances, your past choices, they don't have to dictate your future. And so you are here. So congratulations to you for being here because you want to make changes. You are craving God's love. You are recognizing what that craving is, and you have a desire to make a change, and you are on your way. So don't let those past circumstances dictate where you're going to go. You draw a line in the sand. So you have to let your desire to break free from the guilt, the destruction, all of the defeat be greater than the desire to satisfy your taste buds. How huge is that, right? So we often talk about that in my groups that I run. Is our why statement. And our why has to be so deep that it's so important to us that any of the excuses that come in will not overcome our why. And that's the same thing that she's saying here, is that you need to have that strong why so that it can overcome the desire to just ultimately satisfy your taste buds, because that's what you're doing. So unhealthy choices are oftentimes convenient, right? The short-term satisfaction that we get from something brings long-term pain. And so we have to think about how what we're choosing right now, which is most times the easy thing, is going to affect us in the long run. So thinking about it in terms of, okay, this choice, again, going back to those choices that have brought you to where you are today, this choice, is it going to take me closer to my goal or further from my goal? And ultimately, I believe that you are all here because your goal is to start making better choices, to start fueling your body with food. Using food to fuel your body instead of feeding yourself just to satisfy something other than the fuel. Okay, and you can apply this to your life in any other way when it comes to things that we're addicted to. So she goes on to talk about, which I thought was interesting, we crave what we eat, right? And so it's like that constant, it's like that sugar addiction, right? We crave constantly what we're doing. But here, this is the other good news about that. You can crave healthy food too, because what you ultimately crave is how it makes you feel. And when you start to eat clean foods and when you start to feel better, you will continue to crave that feeling. And so again, that is why you're here. So my goal for you is to start to make those epiphanies, start to recognize the choices that you are making and how they are impacting your future, drawing a line in the sand and knowing that there is another way, that you can do this, that you are worthy of greatness, that short-term pain will equal long-term satisfaction. And I am here to help you. I am an online health and fitness coach, and I have been helping hundreds of people over the past 5 years to find a way to get healthy by eating clean and exercising at home. And so along this journey that we're together for the next week, I will share my story of how I have overcome eating disorders, how I have used health and fitness to draw closer to God, and how this is still a process and still a learning and a journey. And this book has helped me to continue on this journey because I feel like it's a lifelong struggle. Because again, as it says in this book, Satan is going to capitalize on your weaknesses. And this is an area of weakness for me. Secondary to, just some things that I have grown up with and part of my past. And so Satan capitalizes on that. And he is trying to do everything to replace our cravings for God with those things that we're weak at. So maybe for some people it's alcohol. Maybe for some people it's spending money. Maybe for some people it's for food and binge eating. So those cravings, they're in us. So we have to recognize that. Okay, we were made to crave. We were made to crave. We just have to recognize and feed that cravings with the right things. So hopefully you guys, this is a little bit helpful for you, just kind of bringing some of the thoughts together. Hope you've had a chance to read the first 3 chapters. They're short, they're quick. Highlight, take notes, do the questions, post in our page the comments. If you have any questions, I am happy to help, and I'm just excited to be on this journey with you and sharing my own personal journey with eating battles and my spiritual journey and my level of expertise that I do have in the health and fitness industry. So I'm just glad to have you here. Hope you're enjoying yourself so far, and I will see you guys tomorrow.